Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Lucifer here, business and spiritual consultant. As always, I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are doing great. And if you're wondering if it's your first time joining my channel, then you're probably wondering what the hell is Lucifer doing on Earth. Well, let me tell you. He's talking about everything that the Earth is made of, which is what? Business and spirituality. Let's go. All right. So, welcome to the 36 chambers, man. We got another technique from the 36 chambers, man. We got another technique from the 36 chambers that I want to talk about. What? Which is Demonic Tendrillz. Ooh, yeah. The special technique of Demonic Tendrillz. What is the special technique of Demonic Tendrillz, man? Now, this is very advanced, so ain't nobody gonna understand this shit. This is a very, very advanced technique. It's very hard to do. Nobody's gonna be able to do it except me. Demonic Tendrillz. What is Demonic Tendrillz? Well, let's see how I can explain it. Sorry for the audio of the last video. I think the audio might be a little bit off on this one too. I certainly hope not, but it might be. So the special technique of Demonic Tendrillz. How do you use that? What is Demonic Tendrillz? Well, we all know what a tendril is. It's like some octopus kind of thing, you know, that goes everywhere, flapping out and stuff like that. And basically, the best way that I can explain it is, we all know about energy. We all know that energy fluctuates everywhere at the same time. You know, we all know that everything is energy, right? Everything around us is energy and blah, blah, blah. But energy is never stationary. Energy has a very big job, basically, because energy works a lot. Energy works like a factory. Like how you go and work at factories, energy works the same way. So let's say like the energy around you are a bunch of low lives, right? The energy around you are a bunch of low lives and deadbeats, right? They're not doing shit. They don't need to go to work. They just, you know, eat hamburgers and chill, right? They watch Netflix and chill with you. They're always around you. They're always, you know what I mean? That's not a good way to talk about my energy. I'm sorry. You know, but anyways, man, it's for the sake of the argument. All right. Sorry, energy. You're cool. But for you to understand the imagery, it's like they're stationary. The energy that is here present with you right now, that's stationary. That's the energy that stays, like your desk, this microphone here, this screen and stuff. That's always stationary. That's always there. It's always going to be there, right? You know, but you can tell that energy to do things for you, though, right? You can tell the energy around you to go somewhere and do some things, right? So we understand that. So now I'm teaching you how to do magic right now. I'm teaching you how to do magic right now. So this energy that you tell it to do things at certain times, like if you're a manifester, you want to manifest, you're using the energy around you, right? Obviously. What else energy are you going to use, right? So you're using the energy around you to manifest things, right? So that's the only time that this energy actually does anything, right? But let's say what would be but well, before we get there, let me explain to you the manufacturing aspect of it too. So another thing that energy does is that sometimes it goes to work, right? There's some of your energy that is around you that goes to work. There's some energy that actually walks out of your house, gets in a car, and starts driving towards getting to work, right? So what does that mean? So basically, let's put it like this, right? You got some energy that, let's say let's say you're trying to manifest a puppy, right? You're trying to manifest a puppy or a Doberman. I like Dobermans. Let's say you're trying to manifest a Doberman, right? This energy of manifestation is actually walking. So now you have a band of people. Let's say like that type of energy is like Mexicans, right? No pun intended, no offense, man. I'm just trying to be funny. I know that sounds a bit racist. I'm sorry. I'm being a dick. But let's say those are Mexican, because Mexicans always band up together to go to work at the same fucking time, right? They all get in the fucking truck and there's like 20 of them, and then they go drive towards the job that they need to do. So basically we're going to call that energy Mexican energy, right? So that Mexican energy, you gave them an order that you wanted a Doberman, right? So those guys, they're going to pick up their tools. They're going to pick up their hard hats and their jackets and their worker jackets. And they're going to get into that. You're going to walk out your house. They're going to get into that car and they're going to drive on the highway until they find a fucking puppy and then bring it back to you, right? They're going to do the work that they need to do in order to bring back that puppy. And sometimes you need to send more Mexicans, so you need to send more energy, right? So more Mexicans are going to get in the truck. They're going to drive down the highway. They're going to meet up with the rest of the energy that you already sent there, the rest of the Mexicans that you already sent at the place of work, to try and bring back that puppy that you wanted, right? So that's one thing. So you understand that energy can go to work, right, for you, right? And it's just like being a human. They just walk out your house and they go, right? So the thing that people need to understand is that the global consciousness is in some shape or form kind of like a highway of information, right? And in the highway of information, there are multiple paths that energy take, right? But it's very precise where those energy goes, right? So when you're demonic tendril, when you are trying to use demonic tendrils, what's going on? What's going on is that you are basically using your energy to trap and ensnare something, right? So let's say you're trying to trap and ensnare a person. You want to trap and ensnare either a person, a job, anything, right? You can trap and ensnare anything with using your demonic tendrils. And how do you do that? By using your mouth, right? The tendrils are coming out of your mouth. And to my knowledge, unless you practice a lot of meditation, I think there might be another way of creating demonic tendrils, but the best way to have demonic tendrils is to let them come out of your mouth. And it's a dangerous technique, because you can damage somebody, you can hurt somebody, like you can do a lot of shit with demonic tendrils. And I don't encourage people to do that, and I'm not going to specify how to do it either, because it's a dangerous technique and other people can use it to bug other people or destroy other people. So I'm not going to divulge all the necessary steps in order to use the demonic tendrils. But I will say that the demonic tendrils comes out of your mouth, right? And you're basically, what's going on is that you are attaching yourself to information highways. Your tendrils are attaching themselves to different information highways, and you're sending your own energy towards those information highways. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say more than that. So this is another technique from the 36 chambers that some people have, and they don't know how to properly use it. And I'm not going to say how to properly use it here on YouTube either. But it's one of the techniques that might make you feel that people have, that some in the closet demons have, but they don't understand. So they think it's a miracle. They think it's the power of Christ that's doing these things. No, it's you. You're doing that. You just don't understand how. You know, yeah, I it's a technique. Me personally, I do use Demonic Tendrillz a lot, and I'm so good at it that people don't even notice. I'm so good at it, people don't even notice that I'm doing it while I'm doing it. So, you know, and it's just not an easy technique, because you have to know so many things in order to use that technique, right? It's just not that useful. It's too hard. It's basically useless. It's like, it's not useless, but you know, it's one of those techniques, you know, like when you get ninja scrolls and then your sensei is like, you know, he's like telling you these techniques are shadow techniques and you don't need to use them, like, you know, they're forbidden shadow techniques, like you don't need these. You know what I mean? Like, concentrate on the fundamentals and shit like that, and then you gotta wait till your master falls asleep so you can steal the shit and read it. You know what I mean? That's what Demonic Tendrillz is. You know what I mean? That's what a Demonic Tendrillz is. And it's demonic because it's demonic. Period. You know, and you gotta have a little bit of a you can't use it if you're not demonic. Like, you can't use it if you don't have the darkness in you, and you don't need to be like demonic, like, you know, like, you have to have darkness, and you have to be willing to accept to have tentacles coming out of your fucking mouth, right? So that's basically it. I like to use the Demonic Tendrillz. It's a technique that apparently I have mastered. I hadn't noticed that I've mastered it, but apparently I mastered it. So I like it. You know, I like using it. I use it a lot. You know, I ensnare and all the things. You know, I trap them and stuff like that. The person can get out of it. The person can get out of the Demonic Tendrillz. It's not that hard to get out of. You know, it's an attack that I like to use. You know, it's a technique that I just like to use. It's one of my favorites. Everybody got like things they like to do repetitively. That's one of the things I like to do repetitively. You know, so will you learn Demonic Tendrillz inside of the 36 chambers? The 36 chambers being fourth dimensional teachings, fourth dimensional apotheosis teachings. Maybe not. Probably not. I don't think the Demonic Tendrillz was part of my education. I think it's just, I just fell on it, you know, and I didn't fall on it. I didn't fall on it. The reason why I didn't fall on it, the thing about apotheosis is there's not really a book about apotheosis. You have to learn how to be a god from gods. You know, it's the gods, the spirit, the world that's teaching you how to become a god. So you can't really read about it. You know, you have to experience it. But of course, there's certain knowledge and bases that you already have and you're already interested in that you will practice while going through apotheosis, which will be amplified by the power of the spirits that are giving you, by the power that the spirits are giving you, by the power that the world is giving you, by the power that the gods are giving you. Those techniques that you already learned before are now amplified times 10. So are you really like researching things and then you're experimenting and those things work? Yes and no. Yes and no, because eventually you would have, like, the world would have pushed you towards knowing that information at some time and point. You know, so what's really going on is you're just, you know, it depends on what you're interested in. You know, if you don't have any interest in anything, you don't practice anything at all, any form of gnosis or any form of knowledge, yeah, it might take a while before you get there. You gotta forget about like Demonic Tendrillz. You're not gonna be able to do that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's a long way from home. You know, like that's a long way from home. So did I learn it from the universe. Not really, because I already was an adept at meditation. I already was an adept at meditation. I already was a neophyte of meditation. I already was a neophyte of magic. I already was a neophyte of what's it called, a chakra points, you know, because you got to use your chakra points. It has something to do with your chakra points. So, you know, like, I was already a neophyte of these things. So I was already involved into learning those things, right? So, you know, of course, if I studied a specific chakra point, that helps me. I've studied a lot about, you know, the specific chakra. I'm very interested, and I studied a little on, I don't want to seem too nerdy here, but I was very interested into this particular chakra point, and you know, I was interested in it. So all of my attention was directed towards that. So I know the light side of this chakra point and what it can do, but I also know the dark side of that chakra point and what it can do, you know. So it was just as much given by the spirit, the world, the gods, whatever you want to call it, as much as my own interest into that sort of thing. And this is the reason why I can do demonic tendrils. This is the reason why I have Cthulhu looking things that come out of my mouth. Which a lot of people are scared of, from what I can see, you know, and distrust and repulsed and disgusted and doubtful, and yeah. So why am I telling you about Demonic Tendrillz from the 36 Chamber Shadow Scroll? Because it's cool. Because it's cool, man. Because it's cool. It's a cool thing to do. It's just cool. And it's like I said before, when I mention 36 Chamber, every time I mention 36 Chamber, it's something that people can do, or it's something, not only it's something that people can do, but it's something that you already did before in the past, but you don't know how you did it, or it's something that is kind of like a commodity that people already know, but they don't really use it that much, or they don't understand that it actually has a principle behind it. So that's why I say 36 Chamber. I'm not telling you things you don't know. I'm actually reminding you or clarifying things that you already do know, right? Even though for some reason nobody understands the words that are coming out of my mouth. But anyway, I don't know. Maybe I'm that smart, or I don't fucking know. I have no idea. I have no clue. I'm a YouTuber. I do what I can do. I don't understand absolutely everything, absolutely. So whatever y'all do with this information is whatever y'all try to do with this information. I don't know where it's going. I don't know where you want to take this. I don't know. I have no idea, man. Like, I have no clue. And it's fine. It's weird. It's weird, but it's fine. You know, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I understand that my job is just to put the information out there. My job is not to like understand everybody and fucking make friends with everybody and shit like that. That's not my job. My job is just to put the information out there, and whatever people want to do with it, that's their problem. You know what I mean? Of course, Demonic Tendrillz, I'm not going to explain to you how to fucking properly do it, because I don't want a bunch of people with Demonic Tendrillz fucking life up as we know it. You know what I mean? So that's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep that for close relatives, very close relative. But it's awesome. It's an awesome power. I love it. You know, it's and it makes me feel a little bit closer to my immediate family, the demonic realm, and you know the 7 deadly sins, and the gatekeeper of the sins and the gatekeepers, period. It makes me feel a little bit closer, like, because I don't have, I don't, and my skin, I'm made flesh, so I can't, so, because they have particular looks about them, they have particular things about them. I don't have a goat head. I don't have like a hawk head or a fucking snake head or something, you know what I mean? So, when I can develop powers like that, that is when I can develop powers that are seen as being offensive to other people, and just put people in pure disgust of me, that makes me proud, and I feel more close to my demonic self than, having powers where there's fucking angel wings that grow out of my fucking back and shit. And, that's just like, what the fuck are you doing here? You know what I mean? Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, I'm not trying to have no fucking wings here. So, so yeah, man, Demonic Tendrillz, it makes me, the things like that makes me feel, and of course, all of my other powers can be seen as being demonic. I mean, like, a Christian person that listens to my channel is never gonna use flex metallo energy. He's never gonna use beholder energy. He's never gonna use Demonic Tendrillz. And the contrary, he's gonna tell me I'm lost. I need to find Jesus Christ. I need to go to fucking church. I need to do this. I need to do that, and all kinds of shit. And and I understand the guy. I understand the guy because I was like that too. So I understand where he's coming from. But I'm just not. I can't sit there and explain to you why I don't come from that world. And even if I did explain to you why I don't come from that world, you would still feel like I'm lost. You would still feel like I'm losing myself. You would still feel like I'm going somewhere I'm not supposed to be. It couldn't be further from the truth, because I already was you before. I was already you. I was you before you became you. Trust me. Trust me, I was you way before you became you. So, I understand where you're coming from. So I know that there's no amount of explanation that is going to change your mind on how I see things. There's no amount of explanation. There's no amount of videos. There's no amount of examples. Nothing is going to break that link. Unless you want to break that link, unless you see a reason why to break that link, no one else is going to do it for you. No one else can. If you're watching my channel to figure out a good reason why you shouldn't believe in that faith, you're not going to find it. You're not going to find it here. You're not going to find it on somebody else's channel. You need to find it within yourself and with your life to figure out why all these people decided to not go down that route, just like I did. Because me, when I was you, ain't nobody could have told me shit. There's no one on earth that would have shook that fate that I have. No one. Trust me. You know what I mean? No one. I was damn near an exorcist, nigga. I was damn near an exorcist, bro. I was a whole exorcist, bro. No one could have shook that shit. There's not a person on earth that could have shook that shit. But it wasn't a person that shook it. If it was shook in the first place. It wasn't a person. It wasn't a human that removed that from that severed that link. I had to figure out for myself. It came from within myself. The idea of severing myself from that sort of link came from within me. It came from self-realization. It came from self-actualization. It came from me accentuating myself in life. I know it's a bad time to make a joke. I had better comedic timing in the past, but it's true. That's how I did it. That's when I realized that I didn't need this Christian faith. When I accentuated myself, when I was like, you know what? I'm me, and I'm me. And if you don't like it, well, go yourself. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And that was it. You know, and that was it. So there's no amount, and I have tried before. So there's no amount as of you're never gonna. Don't look at my channel as smart as I am, if I dare say so, without having a big head. As smart as I am, as talented as I could be. If you watch my videos because of those two reasons, thinking that at some point I'm gonna say something that's gonna just make you pow, okay, that's it, there you go, that's what I needed, I'm switching sides, it's not gonna happen. It just doesn't work that way. It's not gonna happen. It doesn't work that way. There's no one, anybody, you could find the best demonologist or whatever, he's not gonna change your mind. If you believe in that shit, you need to start doing the work yourself. You need to look within yourself, find out why you believe in those things, find out why those things fit with your values and all kinds of stuff. You got a long road ahead of you. A long road ahead of you, man. You might not even understand in this lifetime. Maybe it's gonna take another lifetime for you to understand it. It might take another lifetime to understand it. Maybe. And I'm not saying you're wrong for believing what you believe in. I'm not saying you're wrong for believing what you believe in. But there's certain things in the darkness that whether you like it or not, it makes sense. You know what I mean? Like my 36 chambers. Well, that's the thing. It's just a school. You know, it's not a dojo is not a way of life. You know, it's not an absolute. I mean, you pay a little bit of money, the guy teaches you some shit, and then you go outside and you use, it's your prerogative if you choose to use it or not. You know what I mean? Like the teacher's not going to tell you, oh, you got to whoop ass every day. You know, no, it's like if you decide to whoop ass every day with everything I teach you, that's your business. If you decide to be zen and just, you know, be comfortable with knowing the fact that you can whoop ass, you can do that too. So I'm not here to tell you to convert yourself to something. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to convert you into something. The people that choose today to convert, that's one thing. That's their problem. That's their prerogative, right? And if they follow the right teachers to listen to my video and they watch, you know, they do whatever the fuck they do and they turn out fine, that's their prerogative. That's how they do it. You know what I mean? It's the same thing for the adverse effect. I mean, of course you should follow me. Of course you should follow me. But just for the sake of the argument, you got to realize that people can do whatever the F they want to do at the end of the day, right? And whatever they choose to believe is not necessarily any of my fucking business. And it's not necessarily any of my business. So if you don't want to learn from the school of scolomancy and enter the 36 chamber dojo and learn abilities underlying, you know, underneath abilities that you had lingering, it's your business. You can do that if you want to. You can just put your fate in the thing that you have faith in and just go about your merry way doing that. You know, me, I don't know. I'm a little bit different, I guess. In some shape or form. I don't know. I like to believe that. What do I believe? I believe that you have the right to use and do whatever you want until you're not hurting anyone. Like, if you're not hurting anyone, do whatever you want. If you're not like injuring people or hurting people, do whatever, even emotionally. If you're not hurting people emotionally, if you're not hurting people emotionally, if you're not hurting people emotionally, if you're not hurting people physically, do whatever you want. Have whatever you want, do whatever you want. I don't care. That's what I believe. Like, I don't believe in sins and, you know, adultery and shit like that. That's bullshit to me. Like, it's not valid. It's a junk. To me, that's junk. That to me is like useless programs that are just there to make you feel like shit. Right? Like, I don't care. Like, you know, if because adultery is not just cheating. Adultery is like, you know, anything that's sultry, right? Like, if you're acting sultry and you're doing sultry things, that's adultery. Like, so I don't care. Like, you know, I don't mind a woman wearing a skirt. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. I don't care. You know, it's not, I don't care. I don't care that somebody has more money than I do. I don't care. I don't give a shit. It's not important. You know what I mean? Of course, I want to have more money than the person that has more money than me. But it's not, it doesn't consume me. It's not like, it doesn't destroy my inner ego or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Because the greatness of being alive is having the chance to be able to race. You know what I mean? It's the fun that you're having while you're racing, and you're looking at the beautiful trees, and you're looking at the horses in the barn, you know, or you're looking at a beautiful barn that's very well painted and shit. Like, looking at the scenery while you're running, right? Or looking at, you know, the horizon. There's some shit like that, you know, whatever you think is beautiful, right? So while you're racing, you can see all these things, and that's where the fun is. The fun is not when you finish the race. The fun is when everything that happens while you're racing. That's what the fun is. You know, laughing at a person that's like overweight trying to finish the race. You know, you know, that type of shit like that. I'm not saying you should laugh at overweight people. I'm just saying, like, you know, before the age of freaking what's it called? Before the age of political correctness. You know, people used to laugh at people that was over it trying to run. But nowadays, if you do that, you basically damn near gonna get a life sentence. They're gonna fucking death row your ass. You know what I mean? But so, I'm not crazy when I say these things. I know I shouldn't. But you also know that I understand these things while I say it too. You know. So yeah. So that's what I believe. My belief is having fun and being free, as long as you don't hurt anybody else. Have fun and live free. You know, if you want to throw fireballs on the 4th of July because you're fucking Gandalf from Lord of the Rings, go right on ahead. That's not a big deal. You're not hurting anybody, man. It's just, you know, you're just throwing fireballs. I don't give a shit. Like, why would I care? Shit. You know what? I don't care so much. I wouldn't even be there to see you do it. I'd watch TV while you're outside throwing fireballs like Gandalf. That's how much I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, so that's where my belief is. That's how I see life, you know. And for somebody that thinks like me, being religious would break me in half. And it did. You know what I mean? It did break me in half. Somebody that thinks the way I think, religion would break me in half. And it did. So I can't be religious. I can't believe in those sort. I'm not from that cloth. I'm not built that way. I'm not wired that way. I'm not built that way. So that's the reason why I don't judge people. I did try it. It just wasn't for me. You know, I did try it, but it wasn't for me. Of course, I have a lot of reasons why I don't believe in that shit. But like I said before, you're not going to believe it. And it's fine. Go figure it out by yourself before it's too late. Go figure it out by yourself before it's too late, man. But there's some people that they're just not gonna get it. There's some people that is not gonna get it. There's some people that don't believe in Christianity, but they're still coming at me because I say I'm Lucifer. Because they're scared of that energy. They don't know what it is. They don't understand what it is. They don't know Lucifer like I do. Like, they don't talk to Lucifer like I do. They don't know him like I do. So they feel it's a bad thing. They feel like I just saw him. I literally just saw his face. So they don't talk to him like I do. They don't know him like I do. So they feel like it's a bad thing. They feel like it's a scary thing. Of course, yeah. Okay. He is scary if he wants to be. But I've never met a magician that ever told me that they were scared when they saw him. Because usually when you see him, he looks like a human. So it's not his face that's gonna scare you, and it's not how he talks that's gonna scare you, because Lucifer does not scream, incessantly like in the fucking movies. When they show you a fucking depiction of Lucifer and he's just this flailing animal type, bestial thing on hooves, attacking everything on sight. You know what I mean? That's not him at all. He's more polite than I am. I mean, I throw F-bombs all day through the week, and he's a lot more polite. Shit, he doesn't even like people cursing in the first place. Every time I curse and he's around, I have to say I'm sorry. Like, none of them do. There's not a lot of spirit that anyway, the gatekeepers are royalty. So you don't curse in front of royalty, and they don't curse either because they consider themselves to be royalty too. And that's not distinguished for a person that's royal. They're kings and princes. They don't curse. That's for cursing is for the little people, the marginalized. Cursing is for the marginal, it's for the peasants. I'm sorry. I couldn't resist. So, I don't know. If you're depicting yourself, of course, I understand that you have to practice dark magic in order to, you have to invoke Lucifer. You have to practice some dark magic, and you might not want to practice dark magic, which is understandable, I guess. Makes sense. It's not dumb, But I don't know. Coming from me, and from what I see from other magicians, from my own experience and the experience of other magicians, we all came to the same conclusion. There's not a lot of magicians that's going to tell you the contrary of who Lucifer is. Like most demonologists that ever dealt with Lucifer energy, then we all have the same experience. He's well-spoken and he looks fine. Pause. Pause. So it all depends on, your point of view. It all depends on what you want to see, what you want to have, what you believe in, where you want to go in life, your purpose, and yada yada yada, blah blah blah. If you don't have a purpose, you might not see the reason why you need to practice dark magic. If you don't have any enemies, then you don't need to practice dark magic. If you're curious about spirituality, then you might fall into that, right? Like, you might visit those places, those dimensions, those different aspects of life. If spirituality is something that inspires you or wakes something inside of you, you might end up exploring those universes. But if that's not your thing, that's not your thing. This is the reason why I made the video of Demonic Tendrillz, just to make a a little point, because I know how people feel about me. Like, it's, you could cut the tension with a knife. You know what I mean? Like, I know how people feel about me. I know they wish that I was some fucking Christian dude. Like, they wish that you know, I was more of a light being and yada yada yada, blah blah blah. That makes me want to vomit in my own mouth. No, I'm kidding. You know, and I appreciate the compliment, but it's not really a compliment at some point. At some point, it's not a compliment anymore. At some point, it's just being disrespectful. You know, that's not who I am. Why do you keep asking? You know, like, it's not, it's just not. It's like, you can't go see a gay guy and be like, stop being gay. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just, casually sit down. You go take a coffee, right? And you casually sit down with the guy, and while you're drinking your coffee, you're like, yo, by the way, stop being gay, bro. He's not going to just stop being gay. I mean, it's not going to just like, boom, he's not gay anymore. This shit don't work like that. You know what I mean? It don't work like that, bro. So it's the same thing for me. You can't ask me to change. I have no reason to, first of all. Like, you know. And that just goes to show you how much you guys have to learn. It goes to show you how much is still ahead of you. You know, because you lack understanding. You lack understanding. So you have a long road ahead of you. Everybody that feels like the way that they feel like about me, you got a long road ahead of you, man. Like, you lack understanding. Like, you really think somebody as powerful as I am, that I don't know what I'm doing. Like, you think I don't understand the things that you understand. That's the problem. You're sitting there, you're like, oh, but this, that, and this, and that, and this, and that. Yeah. But maybe I know those things too. And I still came to that conclusion. Anyways. Just saying. So that's why I'm kind of like, it's almost disrespectful, because I do know the things that you're saying. I do understand those things. It's just, this is where I'm at. This feels right. This feels comfortable. It works for me, you know, for many different reasons. For many different reasons, this works for me, right? So I don't know. There's a lot of people are gonna need time. A lot of people are gonna need time. A lot of people are still in apotheosis. Shit, there's some people that don't even know what apotheosis is. There's some people that don't understand what apotheosis is, bro. Like, I keep throwing the word around. I keep throwing it around. I keep throwing it. I'm not the only one that throws that word around. If you're a fan of EA throws that word around too. Because that's what it is. You're going through apotheosis. And even if your religion, even in faith-based religion, it's written in there in the book that I think he's gonna try to, the point of Christianity is to be more like God, right? But the thing is, what the fuck is God? How can you be like something that you don't know what it is? And how will you even be able to recognize that you're becoming like him if you don't know what he's like? Oh, but in the book it says he's loving and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but is he? Do you really know if he is loving? Like, has he ever loved you? So who are you really becoming? And maybe it is happening. Maybe it's happening right now. Maybe the 36th chamber is the thing in the Bible saying that he's going to make you like him. So you're rejecting these gnosis. You're rejecting me, but maybe I'm doing God's work more than God does his own work. Quote Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Manson said that in a fucking interview. And he's like, the guy was asking them some shit. He was asking them like, well, don't you think, you know, how God would not appreciate the way that you look like and stuff, like when you get to heaven, blah blah blah. And he's told them like, I feel like that's not the case. I feel like, you know, people just judge people on their looks, but at the end of the day, you don't know. Maybe I'm doing God's work more than a preacher does. Maybe I believe more in God than you do. This is just a look, you know. I'm not saying I'm like Marilyn Manson. I don't, you know. But there's a very valid point. There's something he's right. Because if you do judge him on his look, of course you're going to think he's not of God. But maybe the guy, maybe there's a job that he's doing that is way more important than your common pastor or your common preacher and shit like that, or choir singer, some shit like that. And, you know, he's actually a God worker or an angel or some shit like that. Who knows? You don't know. You're just judging him by what he looks like. So my point is, not only to not judge a book by its cover, but don't be so quick to disregard things. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people are quick to disregard things. As if something goes over their heads, they disregard it, right? Don't be so quick to disregard it. Maybe the guy has a point somewhere. Maybe you don't agree with everything he says, but he might have a point somewhere. So anyways, I'm gonna stop talking shit. I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. My name is Lucifer. Please share and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one, man. Peace out.